Hello adventurers, and welcome to our D&D live play. Thanks for joining us as we explore Eberron's lands and seas in Lost Horizons, the Seas of Redemption campaign. Now, let's see what our crew is up to today. All right, welcome back, everybody. We will pick up where we left off last time with our brave adventurers facing off against a trial to require the Guardian's token. Last time, Archie braved the first trial after they solved a puzzle to get through the door and met the guardian of this maze, Velnar. He passed with flying colors and proceeded to assist the group through a maze, portion of the maze. Just then a magic circle lights up in the corner for you to step on and will bring you up to the rest of the party.
Archie steps on it. With Crest. Don't forget Crest.
So you appear in the next room with the party. Oh, excuse me. Velnar faces you and scans you over and says, Zeth, you are next to face the challenge. Zeth.
It's okay now, Zed. Don't be shy. Push him.
Sorry, I was helping my wife fix an issue with her computer.
What is this computer you speak of? No, sorry.
I have never heard of such thing either.
Zeth looks around and steps forward. There's some hesitation, but deep down he knows that this is something that he needs to do. I'll go.
Good. Shaky though you may be, you took the first step. He touches your forehead and his eyes begin to glow. He says, your deepest desire you will face, but what cost befits that place. Welcomed in with open arms, filled with wonders and charms. Your own path you must choose. No matter what, you're going to lose. For what man can change their fate? Accept the truth before it's too late. And your eyes go dark. Again, the screen, the image of what's happening to him pops up above his head. And same deal as last time. You awaken to the smell of your favorite breakfast cooking.
Ooh.
You open your eyes to your home in the port town of Chez Cardel. You blink your eyes as your mind tries to remember a dream, but it slips through your thoughts. You look down from your tiny makeshift loft bed in the leaky rafters of your home to your mother cooking on the fire. Oh, you're awake, dear.
Yeah, I Sorry I overslept. It's not like me.
You
Don't feel like quite myself.
You didn't oversleep. I was up early. Made you your favorite breakfast.
Thank you. I give her a hug. Is there anything I can help with?
No, sit down. It's all done. It's because we have something to celebrate.
Oh? It's not my birthday, is it?
No. But your father has finally invited us to live with him in the capital. He said you would
Really?
you would become his
Wait.
heir. And a citizen. Isn't that wonderful news?
My what?
Your father.
Zeth starts. The shock wears over him. And he starts to, see tears streaming down his cheeks. We're going to live with him in the capital. Oh, this is amazing. When?
They're coming to fetch us shortly.
We've got to get packed. Thank you for breakfast. And he scarfs it down, but while he just doesn't even sit, he takes the plate and scarfs it down while he's starting to pack things up. I can't believe it. We won't have to live on the outside anymore. What happened? What changed?
I guess my latest letter to him finally broke through.
You sent him a letter? They let you send a letter? They don't let outsiders like us. It's a miracle.
Indeed.
How has her health been lately?
She looks.
Or how does he look? Does she look in the moment?
Yeah, she looks tired. She's been getting steadily worse. So she looks, pretty close to death's door, honestly.
Can finally get you some help. You can rest now.
Help would be nice.
Right. Well, I need some help finishing this delicious breakfast. And it would be a shame to have to pack it up one more thing. So I need you, and I'll sit her down at the table, to help me finish this while I go pack our things.
That's my sweet boy.
I'm gonna go start packing things up.
Just about. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's not much that we own, so it's not like a big ordeal packing. It's mostly just the few things that are sentimental to us. The rest of it's just, there's not much else, so it's not hard to get things together. I do take the sword off of the mantle and I hand it to her. Don't forget your sword.
Darling, Why don't you bring that as your sword?
Mine. You giving it to me?
Well, I can hardly use it now, can I?
You will one day.
Nonsense. Even if I'm healed, I won't need to use it. You've been training with it every day for years now. I think it's time you accepted it as yours.
I do. With all my honor. I will carry it and I will think of you. And next time I slice off the head of a Hydra like our great grandmother Tiana, then I will think of you.
You will. I'm sure she would be so proud of you.
Do you think we'll ever meet her? Like, not her, but her reincarnation? She's the hero of the flame, after all. Do you think we'll meet the next hero?
It's possible, I suppose, but they rarely come to these parts. Perhaps if you were to go on an adventure.
Zez thinks about it for a moment. Maybe, but I think exploring the rest of Arno is adventure enough. There's a whole island we haven't seen.
Very true. This is the way when you're not really allowed past the ports.
Right, but that'll change for us soon.
And with that, you hear a rap on the door.
That must be them. And I will strap the sword to my side and go answer the door.
You see a footman at the door. He takes your bags and leads you up the narrow alleyway as you help your mother along to a carriage on the main road.
Watch your step. I help her into the carriage. Thank you, I'd say to the footman.
He gives you a nod.
And Zeth, in his character, would ask the person's name, but I, as a player, am not going to do that to you.
He wouldn't respond anyways. So they lead you up into the city. Of the capital, passing through the gates that have been closed to you all your life. Once inside, you can't help but stick your head out the window and see the most beautiful sights you've ever beheld. The streets lead up to the central temple of the Undying, which is surrounded by the mansions of the nobles, the largest being the castle of the sibling kings. The buildings are made of white stone and shine with a faint golden light. The streets are all paved and lined with shops and houses perfectly placed and in order as all things are with the elves. The very history of this place is on display around every corner. They finally pull you up to a modest mansion compared to the others, but still the largest building you've ever seen. The doors to the carriage open and you step out into a large courtyard that is lined with trees and has a fountain in the center. Peaks of the black spires are juxtaposed to the white stone and give you a sense of wonder and make you feel small all at the same time. The head servant is waiting for you at the bottom of the stairs. The master
While
will
we're-
see you now.
While we're still out of earshot, or rather probably in the carriage ride, I would be asking Mom some questions about my dad, because she's never really talked about him much before. And the biggest question that he has is, honestly, like, what is his name? Can you tell me a little bit about him before we meet him?
Um,
I know you try to respect his privacy and haven't talked about him much, but can I at least know his name? I don't want our first meeting to start off on the wrong foot. He says with, like, nervousness in his voice.
of course, my dear. His name is Weston. And well, I can't remember the rest of it.
Really? It was... Oh, it was one of those situations.
It's been a long time. Anyways, he's had several title changes since then. I hardly know where he's ended up.
I know. I was joking. I'm sure it was a wonderful adventure.
Yes. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. After all, it brought me you.
Smile at her, and we step out of the carriage and head in to see the head servant dude. As he introduces himself to us and says that the guy's waiting. And Zeth is just soaking in everything, or at least he's trying to. Part of him's in wonder, and the other part of him is so tense and nervous.
He leads you into the house. 1 second. Grand entrance with just immaculate woodworking and carving on every wall. They lead you into a dining room with a long table, and the man you presume to be your father is seated at the head of it, his face hidden behind centerpieces. He says to you, "Ah, so wonderful to finally get to meet you, my son. I'm sure your mother has told you the great news. We will, of course, get started on your training right away. You have much to learn, I am sure. Not just weapons training, but etiquette and poise training as well as the normal curriculum."
I think there's a piece of Zeth that dies a little here. Their first meeting is not quite the loving embrace that he would have imagined, but is rather let's get straight to business kind of thing. And part of him is not hurt, but disappointed by that. But the other part of him is just thankful for the opportunity at all and for this to be happening. To finally have a life with his dad in it. He bows deeply. Of course, Father. It will be my honor.
Very good. Graft will show you both to your room. I have business to attend to today, but we'll see you at dinner.
Thank you, sir. If I may, a question.
Yes.
Mother has taken ill as of late. Is there any treatments that could be arranged for her?
Yes, we have the finest healer waiting for her in her room to examine.
Thank you. I will see you at dinner. And I bow and excuse myself out. And I give Mom a smile that he tries to cover up a little bit of disappointment, but he doesn't want her to see that. He wants her to see that everything that she's done, everything that she's worked hard for, he's grateful for it.
She gives you a nod, almost knowingly. And then you are whisked off to your new room. She is across the hall from you, but your room is now bigger than your old house. Walls lined in gold and blue wallpaper between wood paneling that makes the room rich and moody and smells of cedar. A four-poster bed at the center of the large wall, a desk to the left, and a large walk-in robe to the right. Graf informs you that you will begin classes that afternoon.
Thank you. If I may need some directions getting there and, of course, the time. I want to be punctual.
Of course, young master.
I make my way around the room, just observing everything, and then plop on the bed, soaking it all in. It almost feels too big. Like, unnervingly too big. He's used to more small, cramped spaces and having to make do with what you have. And now the openness is slightly unnerving, but it's minor. Going to take a look at his clothes and realize that they probably won't do for the occasion, and go check out the clothes in the closet and pick out something more fitting for
Yes, it
a
is,
day
it
of
is
instruction.
filled with clothes your size, perfectly lined and categorized for you, like with even like labels that say like what the occasion should be, just in case you had no clue.
The street smart side of him, the orphan, not really orphan kid, but like the kid that grew up on the streets, is wondering like, bro, have they been like spying on me? Like, how did they know my exact size? This is a little creepy. But at the same time, the other side of him's like, nah, that's normal. That's You know, they are very informed, wealthy people, and it's very considerate of them to have all this prepared and even labeled for me. So he'll go through the labels and pick out what's appropriate. And now we play dress up simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to keep the sword sheathed to him. This is now a symbol of his honor and of his family's legacy.
Okay. As you put your hand on the sword, you feel kind of like a tug at the back of your mind. Almost like something's trying to scratch the surface, and then Graf knocks on the door and pulls you away from it. It recedes.
Strange. Still
All
don't
right,
quite
this
feel
way, sir.
myself. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Leads you to your class. For the next few weeks, you begin to settle into your new routine of sword training in the morning and etiquette and general classes in the afternoon, all the way up to dinner with your mother and occasionally father. Who, though you catch glimpses of, never see his full face.
That's a cool touch.
After a few weeks, more than that, so about a month now, you are entered into the Knight Training Academy to become one of the knights that will never be forgotten. This is, of course, with your mother on the mend. She's looking much better these days. Time flies as you're there and you graduate with flying colors. And are allowed to enter the Young Knights. The final step in your journey to becoming a knight. And the first to being remembered in elfin history. Every once in a while over these past years, you have seen a ghostly figure that you think you recognize, and he calls out to you, but you can't hear him. And after a second or two, someone else calls for your attention. You look away, and when you look back, he's gone. It is now the night of your induction into the Young Knights. Which is a kind of precursor to becoming a knight. You have to prove yourself here.
Right.
In order to step
Can
up.
I give the group a name? I can't remember the official name for the secret society, not secret society, but like the secret agent kind of order of knights that protect the interests of RNL. But can I give them a name?
What are you thinking?
Night Watch, spelled with a K.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so you said this is the night before the...
No, the night of.
Oh, the night of. Okay. Zeth is preparing.
Gotta add that to the notes, or I'll forget.
Yay!
As you're about to
Zeth
end...
has been working.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go first.
Zeth has been working hard for this. This moment is everything he's dreamed of.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to, being the only half-blood there, he wants to set a good example, a good precedent.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been applying himself fully obsessed with this. And it's finally happening.
As you are waiting your turn to be called in outside in the courtyard, you see that figure again that's been plaguing you. Roll a perception check for me.
$16.
Okay, how strong would you say you're gripped by this, fruition of your dream?
Very strong. Zeth is fully lost in it.
Okay. You can kind of make out a few words almost.
Can I add something else to that thing? Sorry.
Yeah.
Not only is he gripped strong by it, but there's a part of him deep down that's wanted this, that's needed this, and denying that anything else ever existed.
You just hear the words Zeth and remember and Cendric, and then someone else inside calls your name. Zeth, it's your turn. They're calling for you.
Yes. Sorry. And I turn my back and start walking inside. A part of him starts contemplating like what he's been seeing, but then there's another part of him that's almost forcefully denying it. A part of him that's saying, no, stay away. This is something that will take everything from you. Meaning the weird ghost thing. The part of him is saying that whatever that thing is that he keeps seeing, it's a danger to everything that he knows.
Okay.
So I step inside.
The hall is filled with people with parents and academy graduates who are been inaugurated and are waiting as well. It's a small class this year. Not everyone, of course, makes it. You make your way towards the front, and the headmaster of the Night Watch says, "For your bravery and valor, for the work you have accomplished in the Academy, for upstanding character and grades, we welcome you to the Night Watch. Here you may test yourself and prove yourself to be even greater of a warrior, leader, and bearer of our ideals and principles here in the capital. May you be ever successful, and the light of the Undying shine upon you." And you're, of course, kneeling, or he motions for you to kneel.
I kneel down reverently.
He taps his sword to one side only of your shoulder and pulls it off and says, "Rise. Watcher, light."
As Zeth stands, it's not the old Zeth, it's the new one. The person that he was ceased to be, and now a fully realized knight is standing there.
Okay. Okay. The room applauds, and you can see your mother and father. Face still obscured from the angle that you're at for some reason, but your mom you can see clearly, and she looks so proud of you and happy and healthy. And you had to join your new classmates.
Before I do, I give her a smile and a nod, not wanting to break the protocol of the moment. Like, wanting to give her a hug, but not wanting to break the protocol of the moment. And I think that's felt on her end as well. But I think they both realize, and he's done his best to try to communicate it, that he wouldn't be where he was or have been as successful in his training or accelerated so far without her and all the prep work that she put into him, all the training that she drilled into him night and day before he came here.
Yeah, because even though entering at a young age, you rocketed through the academies in a short, 2-year span, which is not normal.
And I go and join.
The night continues as the rest of the ceremony goes on. You're then moved to your new quarters with the Night Watch. If few days go by and you're given your first assignment out in RNL. You go to the gate that let you into the city when you first came to the capital. You enter your old port town. On horseback with your new companions, and you look down upon the place you used to live. What do you feel?
Oh, that's a tough one. Zet's heart goes out to them because he understands, even having come as far as he has, a part of him still breaks at seeing those that are still trapped on the outside of society. And deep down in his heart, he wants to do something to help them, wonders if some way, and that may be a goal of his, is to someday help change tradition, whether it's using his station as a knight, the reputation that he might have earned for himself as one of the best members of the Night Watch, to help change this. I think that's kind of his goal. But still, it doesn't feel like it's quick enough for him. Like, every minute that things aren't changed, there's people outside suffering. I think in what brief downtime he has, he's probably thinking of ways that he might be able to influence things and help bring relief.
Okay.
So going into this community, it's hitting a tender spot for him.
As you're feeling this and, scanning the cityscape down to the port, you see again that figure pointing at a boat. And then he's suddenly in front of you. Give me another perception check.
Okay. Can I do also make a curve? Hey, Lee. Is Lee here? Never mind. What's a normal save for being frightened? Is it charisma?
I think it'd normally be wisdom.
Wisdom? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to can I do a quick wisdom save to see if I jump
Oh yeah.
as okay. No, kind of remained composed to 19. A part of him probably, it's not frightened,
It's an
but
internal jump.
yeah.
It's not audible or really visible to anyone else, but you have the tiniest little jolt.
Yes.
Your hands tense on the reins. And then give me that perception check.
Perception or insight? I mean, either one. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a 14.
14. Okay.
What does the figure do whenever it's standing in front of me?
He is trying to get your attention and trying to say something to you.
It's pointing to the boat, right?
Yeah, and he was pointing to the boat.
I look at it. At this, whatever this thing is. I stare it down. And I whisper so that only the two of us can hear. I don't want any of my other knights to hear me and think I'm going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I whisper to it. No. Everything I need is right here. And I get my horse to go forward and just walk through it.
It dissipates and then begins trying to, like, it begins floating alongside of you. You can tell he's like screaming at you. Just, you can see he's kind of desperate in his eyes.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of how I would react.
Mm-hmm.
I think outwardly he would be ignoring it. Inwardly, I feel like there's something of a war going on within his instincts. One instinct says that, again, like the most powerful instinct is saying that if you listen to this thing, if you trust this thing, all of this is going to be ripped away from you. And he's not quite sure why that is.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
I will. That would be a 16.
You feel once again that thing at the back of your mind, like, that you should know who this is. But you're able to fend it off. And he kind of fades away and you go on your journey.
What is the mission we've been sent here to do?
It is a scouting mission for just a small whisper of a lead on Lady Vol.
Oh.
Who, has been plaguing the continent for centuries, and no one ever seems to be able to find her.
Yeah, there's probably also that aspect of whatever this thing is not nearly important as the threat that's facing RNL and the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you continue on your way through that trial. Or not trial, sorry. Like to that mission. And come back a few weeks later. It was another dead end. Or so you thought, because as soon as you make it back, you see the capital is under attack.
Ooh.
Most of the city, the entire port town is in flames. Walls crumbled all around, and people lay slain in the streets. Buildings crumbled, rubble everywhere. It looks like they were hit with enormous force. You see large rocks penetrating through and knocking over buildings. Several of them, as if like a volcano erupted and threw them from the sky.
Yikes. This in the middle of an attack, or is this post-attack? Is it hard to tell?
It from the outskirts you cannot tell, but you do hear rumbling in the distance and faint screams and like the sounds of war in the distance.
I'm assuming I'm still on the ship as we're traveling closer.
You were on horseback. You were on land.
Oh, okay. So I turn to my squad of knights, and we book it. I lead them into the city,
Yeah.
looking where we can help, but primarily doing our duty, trying to protect those that we've been ordered to protect.
You slay a few undead along the way. As you head up, you tell yourself you have to check your home.
I take my squad of knights and we start pushing towards the district where the noble families live. Seeing as there's not much left of the city, just trying to protect and get people out that we can. See who's survived.
Okay, you make it finally to your family's house. It has been hit with meteors and Graf lays dead in the courtyard. A few other servants looking like they were trying to run away as well.
Zet's heart breaks at seeing them, but he's also a knight, and he knows that the time of grief can come later. Right now, if he grieves now, then the people that are alive are in danger and could die if he hesitates even for a moment. So he and his squad look for any survivors.
Yeah, you push through the house. You find no one until you enter the back courtyard. You find you don't find any survivors. Your father is slain in the parlor, and on his way to the weapons. And your mother, you find out in the back courtyard. Just surrounded by slain undead. And kind of gasping with her last breaths.
I get the healer of our group, or I call out for the healer of our group that we have one survivor, and run to her while I'm waiting for them to catch up. It's gonna be okay. And he's trying to hold back the tears, but they're flowing.
Mm-hmm. Oh. You're here. I'm so glad I get to see your face again. One last time.
No, don't talk like that. I've got help. Where's that healer?
She's severely wounded. Like cuts everywhere. Most of her midsection is cut open at this point. And she has a stab wound deep in her chest.
Zeth is doing what he can with his field training.
Mm-hmm.
In his head, though, he's in denial about how severe her wounds are.
Right. The healer gets there and tries to start doing something. She puts her hand on yours. It's too late. I want you to know how proud I am of you.
I just take her hand, and he doesn't know what to say. There's too many things that he wants to say. And I think a piece of him remembers this kind of grief, or at least it seems too familiar. And he just cradles her and tells her that he loves her and that he's so sorry that he left.
This is not your fault, my son. Do not blame yourself. I could never blame you. I love you. I will be watching over. She releases her final breath. You can see the light leave her eyes.
I turn to the healer and just nod in thanks and motion for them to go find other people that they can help. I'll be along in a minute. And he just holds her there.
Again, the figure appears in front of you. I need you to... Go ahead.
Nope. What do you need me to make?
Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Archie would like to try to pierce the veil and make a comment.
Okay, I need a persuasion check from you.
While he's doing that, Zeth doesn't look up. He sees the figure's feet. He doesn't look up though.
15.
And
Okay, it'll go through.
go ahead, Lee.
You aren't alone. You still have a family.
Ooh.
He's not standing, but kneeling across from you. And you did fail your save, so all of the memories of present day come rushing back to you.
Before we do that, can I actually have a cool scene real quick?
Yeah.
So a piece of the voice pierces through the veil, and while Zeth is fully anchored here now, he also feels a tether to the real world. He doesn't know that's what it is, but he feels a tether, a connection to it. He almost feels like he's stretched, though, like he's holding on to both things. And I think a part of him realizes that he can't have both. He can't do that. And he doesn't look up at the figure, but he says, "You knew about this, didn't you? You knew this would happen." And he looks up at them. You were trying to get me to leave? When they needed me. And whatever denial instinct or whatever is in Zeth that this thing is trying to take away everything that he loves and knows, everything that he needs, is enraged.
Death, it isn't real. You finally hear his voice. Wasn't trying to take you from them. Was trying to take you back. None of this is real.
And I think Archie's words, the words that he had spoken, make sense. And he feels that tether strengthening as the memories start coming back. But he's still at war in himself.
Mm-hmm. No, it feels real right now. And in both here and there, she's still gone. So here she lived. Far longer and much greater.
Zeth looks down. He can't meet his eyes because he knows that he's right.
You have to choose between here and there. I don't know if you'll pass at this point, but you have to come back. You might be stuck forever.
There's not anything left for me here anyway. Not anymore. And I think at that point, he lets go of whatever was desperately holding on to this false reality, this delusion. Seth doesn't know what kind of family is waiting for him out there. In fact, I'm not even sure if he quite recognized Archie's voice because he was so lost in the moment. But he's willing to try.
You wake up back in the cave.
And Zeth takes a deep breath. And he knows he's failed. He doesn't look up. He just turns and walks back toward the group, keeping his head down.
If we dwell on our past with remorse and disdain, we will never move forward and grow. You have failed to wake from your dream of your own, and will be hindered in the final trial. But fear not, my son. There is always a path to move forward. All you have to do is take it.
Zeth will nod, still feeling the self-disappointment and shame of not having.
He'll gesture towards the wall.
He'll what?
Gesture towards the wall where the next puzzle is.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry I don't have cooler background pictures, everybody.
All good.
It's a lot of scene moving.
The image in our mind was awesome enough.
Good.
Yeah, it was great.
I almost made myself cry. Just getting into character. Alright, where you want these blocks, sir?
Okay, let's do this. Where's my measure tool? This one go up. This one go up. This one go down.
Can't go down. This one's in the way. This is in the way.
Oh, on my screen it's showing over. There you go. Down. Over. Up. Over.
This is the one you want to move.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
This one. Okay. Down. Forward. Yep. Up. Let's go backwards. Okay. Up. Up. Ooh, hold on. No, down. Oh, sorry. That one go. Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, just like that. And then this.
Mm-hmm.
And then this. And this. And then we.
You made it.
Ooh, taller. Ooh, taller. Huzzah!
Oh, who taller? I thought you said who's taller. I was like,
That's what I thought too. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Didn't realize this was a height contest.
Maybe it's a length contest.
Oh,
I'd
God.
lose.
Nah,
he's honest about it, so.
Tristan's not here and he still wins.
You aren't wrong. If he wanted to, he'd be tapping you on the shoulder with that thing right now.
Oh God!
For reference to
Drinking.
our wonderful viewers, we have a friend who we affectionately refer to as Tripod. You can fill in the blanks.
Oh gosh.
anyways.
And Tristan, if you're listening, call me back. I miss you.
He can probably reach you from where he is.
Yeah, it's only a couple states over. He probably could.
What?
Yeah.
So you step on the teleportation circle and enter the room that your friends just went to. And there he is again. The floating menace of your current predicament. We have presently reached the end of most of my concrete plans. We are now in improvision land.
Yay, my favorite land to be in.
I don't like it. Sandros,
Yes.
you are next to face the trial. Oh, Nate, you're debuff. You because you were stuck in the past, you cannot see ahead and or be in the present, so you have no reactions, and
Ooh.
you get a -5 to attack rolls.
Womp womp.
Time for
Ow.
character growth, boys.
Just for the final fight, right?
Yeah, just for this, in this cave final fight, yes.
-5 to attack rolls.
I hope we have to fight the Guardian.
Spoiler alert.
I really hope this dude like takes on a corporeal form and is like, your last test, a test of strength, and like just rips off the robe to be jacked as hell.
Ooh. Okay.
When you
That's
thought
exactly what I was thinking of.
when you thought you ordered Gandalf the Grey, but instead you got the stripper Gandalf the Gay. Hey, cut that out. I'm not trying to get canceled.
Nope, it's in there.
I mean, never mind.
For those astute of the audience, I liked trains when I was a kid. You can fill in the blanks. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
What?
Is this where we want to call it, you guys? It's 11 o'clock for those of us who actually
Oh, yeah,
get
I
4
forgot.
seasons.
And
And
if you are in improv land,
exactly. And so,
It's true.
Derek, I don't want to push you.
I'm
I
in
will say if you
uncharted
make us wait
territories.
another month, I'm going to raise your rent. But
No,
other than that,
it'll be Tuesday unless we want to move it to Saturdays, which I would love. Well, here,
I
we'll
personally
table this. Let
have
me
no
end
problem
this
with it.
session.
rah.
Yeah, so we will go ahead and take a break here and pick up next time. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us on our adventure. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Please drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for the next session as we continue Lost Horizons, the Seas of Redemption campaign.